Young cleaner was fired for saving a rich man's dog. Years later, that dog led police to her stolen baby in the billionaire's mansion. Rain poured like the sky had cracked open, hammering the iron gates of the Golden Antelope estate outside Nairobi. At 11 p.m., a small figure staggered through the storm. Barefoot, soaked to the bone, her pants torn by rocks, blood mixing with rainwater. In her arms, she clutched a massive Saluki hound, its hind leg wrapped in bloody rags. "Open up! Please! Shaheen's dying!" Amina's voice was raw, her purple hands slapping the gate. She knew the rules. Cleaners weren't allowed within 50 meters of the main house, let alone touch Mwinyi Habib's prized dogs. But she had no choice. 3 hours a liar, dumping trash at the estate's back hill, she'd heard a pained yelp. Following the sound, she found Shaheen, the wind child, a dog worth more than her lifetime's wages, coiled in the grip of a black mamba, fangs sunk deep into its leg. She didn't hesitate. Grabbing a broom, she beat the snake until it slithered away. Then she bit her own finger to draw blood, pressed it to Shaheen's wound, and sucked out the venom, spitting blackened spit into the mud. Her hands shook, but she didn't stop. Tearing her sleeve, she bandaged the leg, then hauled the dog, twice her weight, to the estate clinic. RDS spotted her near the mansion, shoving her back. "Filthy Luo woman! You touched the wind child." Shaheen slipped from her arms as she begged on her knees. They called her mad. So she ride the dog to the gates, praying someone would listen. Inside the surveillance room, Mwinyi Habib sipped wine, watching the screens. Half Swahili, half Arabic, his face was stone. His steward whispered, "That cleaner, Amina Okoth. Unwed mother. Her mother's bedridden. She broke the rules, touched the sacred hound. By custom, she should be fired." Mwinyi didn't blink. If she touched Shaheen, she never existed. Throw her out. But the dog has a vet. She's dirt. Amina waited outside for an hour, rain stinging her eyes, Shaheen's breath fading. Finally, the gate cracked open. The vet took one look at the dog. Snakebite. Who treated it? I sucked out the poison. The vet ignored her, snatching Shaheen away. The gate slammed shut, leaving her alone in the storm. At dawn, RDS ripped up her contract in front of the other cleaners. "Amina Okoth. You trespassed, defiled the wind child, used witchcraft. You're fired." "Witchcraft? I saved him." "Saved a Luo touching an Arab hound? That's blasphemy." The RD spat. "Disap AR, or we'll make you." They tossed her out like trash. On the roadside, clutching her only belongings, a cloth bundle with her mother's prescriptions and her daughter Lila's photo, she realized, her kindness had cost her everything. Home was a leaking mud hut. By Lake Kismu. Her mother coughed blood. Lila burned with fever, whimpering, "Mama, I'm cold." Amina scrounged up her mother's gold rings, her last dowry, and ran to town. The jeweler sneered. "Fake. 200 shillings. They're real. Try elsewhere." 3 shops turned her away. The last gave her a magic powder for Lila's fever. That night, she found it was just cornmeal. Holding her vomiting child, she wept till sunrise. At dawn, she rode to the lake CRT where Luo ancestors were said to dwell and screamed at the water, "Mother! Father! I sucked venom from that dog. What did I do wrong?" The lake stilled. An old fisherman, Okoth, paddled near the lake. "RSU, child. Grandfather, I can't survive." He handed her smoked fish. "Shaheen isn't just a dog. To Arabs, it's a spirit guide. You polluted it. They fia are you now, think you'll hex it. So I sta Irv. Live." He patted her. "The lake doesn't save the lazy. But it shields the stubborn." Back ashore, her mother sat up coughing less. Lila's fever broke, murmuring, "Mama, I dreamed a big dog smiled at me." Amina froze. 3 months later, she sold grilled tilapia by the lake, the scraping 50 shillings a day. Then police arrived. "Where's Mwinyi's dog?" demanded Chief Ka Ru. Gone.
Shaheen vanished near your village. She flipped fish on the grill. I know nothing. Karu leaned in. We'll be watching.
She didn't tell him Shaheen had come 3 nights in the rain, whining softly outside her hut. On the 4th night, it vanished. She buried a piece of fish for it behind the house.
Thank you, Shaheen. If there's another life, be human. That night, another storm hit. As Amina tucked Lila in, a weak whine came from outside.
She rushed out. Shaheen lay in the mud, skeletal, its wound festering. It licked her hand, then nudged her 4-way RD, urging her to follow. Wrapping the dog in a rag, she trailed it through thorns, across dried riverbeds, to a stretch of border fence.
Shaheen ked weakly, pawing the dirt.
Amina dug and uncovered a cloth bundle. Inside was Lila's stuffed rabbit. Trembling, Amina whispered, "Lila, where are you?" Shaheen leaned against her leg, panting, as if to say, "I came back. This time I saved you." Amina knelt at the bed wire fence, clutching the mud-caked rabbit plush, rain and TRS dripping into the dirt. Shaheen lay at her feet, breathing shallowly, its brass collar glinting in the lightning. Sahim mh mwinyi habibs ma rk. "Lila, my baby," her whisper drowned in thunder. Shaheen licked her hand weakly, trying to rise, but a deep knife wound split its hind leg.
Amina gasped. Someone had tried to silence it. She wrapped the dog in her shawl, wrying it and the toy back to the village.
That night, in their hut, her mother coughed over Lila's photo, the girl grinning in a red dress. Lila's
taken, Amina choked. Her mother touched her head. Ask the lake spirit. Only it knows truth. At dawn, Amina brought Shaheen to Nana. The blind Siariso spoke with ancestors and smoked up. The old woman touched the dog's head, then jerked back. It saw a white-walled house. A man in robes holding a red-dressed child crying for mama. Amina's heart stopped. Lila.
But it can't speak, Nana hissed. They drugged it, made it forget.
But dogs remember sense. Remember saviors. Who took her? Snakes in their nest.
A robed Arab, a suited African hiding behind gold. Amina recalled Mwinyi whispering with a robed doctor the night she was fired. Baby photos in his hands.
I'm going back. Disguised, Amina sneaked into Golden Antelope as a cleaner.
For nights, she hid in rose bushes, watching. On the 7th night, moonlight revealed Mwinyi and the robed man on a veranda. The child adjusts well, the doctor smiled. Soon she'll forget her past.
The bloodline is transferred. Bloodline transfer. Amina's stomach twisted.
Luo legends spoke of rich men stealing babies to steal their vitality for Ren families. Then, the curtains pa root. There sat Lila, in red, drawing. Amina Nerly screamed, but Shaheen's cold nose nudged her leg. The dog, emaciated but alert, gripped her sleeve in its teeth. Don't move. As Gua Rdsnea red, Shaheen licked her cheek. And vanished into darkness. Next morning, word spread, mad dog Shaheen euthanized for rabies.
Amina was expelled, but not before snatching Shaheen's red collar from the incinerator trash. Nana burned herbs over it, chanting.
At last, she rasped, the lake spirit says your child lives deep in the snake's nest. To save her, you need the messenger.
The messenger Shaheen was no ordinary hound. It was a guide sent by ancestors. It remembers who saved it. Amina rallied the village women under the sacred fig tree. She told them
everything, the firing, Lila's kidnapping, Shaheen's clues, Mwinyi's ritual. At first, silence.
Luo women didn't challenge Arab Tycns. But Oldokoth stood.
Winnie stole our lakeshore land. Smashed our fishing huts. My son says Dr. Rashid takes women to his clinic, they leave pregnant but never with babies, another cried. They're swapping poor children's fate, a widow wailed. The women formed to find our daughter's circle, vowing to investigate Nairobi. Then, Chief Karu stormed in with cops. Amina Okoth.
You're inciting riots. The women blocked him. She's done nothing.
Nana hobbled forth, raising Shaheen's kala. This is the wind child's relic.
It died showing us truth. Burn it, and you burn Arab holy law.
Karu paled.
Damaging a Saluki's kala meant diplomatic hell.
He fled. That night, Amina dreamed of Shaheen standing on a moonlit hill, leading a ghostly pack of hounds, all with engraved kala rs, howling as one.
She woke to real howls.
Every village dog, strays, shepherds, mutts, was Ba King Tawa Rd golden antelope. Nana whispered, it's calling its kin. The wind child's cry echoes across the plains. Amina gripped the kala sta ring at the distant estate. The battle had just begun. She was no longer a fired cleaner. She was a mother. A warrior. Chosen by fate to bring her child home. Amina stood at the village's edge, clutching Shaheen's kala watching the endless plains.
The dogs had howled for 3 hours straight, only stopping at dawn. Villagers whispered about awakened spirits or the lake god's wrath. But Amina knew better. This wasn't superstition. It was a message.
Shaheen's cry had traveled the land. She wrapped the kala in red cloth and hung it over her doorframe, a Luo tradition to shelter lost souls. As long as this brass tag stays, Shaheen stays with me. At sunrise, she rallied the Find Our Daughter's women. They'd storm Nairobi, investigate Dr. Rashid's clinic, Winnie's Sanitarium, track Lila's trail. Then the postman arrived, panting on his rusty bike.
Amina Okoth court summons.
Her hands shook opening it. Charged with inciting violence, spreading falsehoods.
Winnie Habib versus you. Court in 3 days. The women erupted. They're silencing you. You'll be jailed. What about Lila?
Amina sta read at the paper, then tore it in half, tossing it into the fire. I'm not going. They want to bury me in lawsuits. I'll bury them in truth. She turned to the group.
I'll go to Nairobi alone.
You stay, watch for clues. If I'm not back in 3 days, light the lake fire.
WARN everyone. The bus to Nairobi reeked of sweat and dust.
Amina sat by the window, fingers tracing Shaheen's red-wrapped kala whispering Lila's name.
By dusk, she reached the city.
Too risky to rent a room. Winnie's spies were everywhere. She crashed with a cousin in Kibera slums, a tin shack with
plastic tarp roofing. 2 malnourished kids huddled in a corner. Amina, you mad? Her cousin hissed. Winnie's men hunt you.
They say you stole his dog.
That dog saved me.
He stole my child.
Her cousin sighed.
In this city, poor people's words don't even stir the wind.
At midnight, Amina crept Tawa Rd Golden Antelope Estate.
Gua RDS patrolled the 3-meter walls topped with infrared cameras. Then a whimper. Shaheen's whimper. Her heart lurched.
She followed the sound through thorn bushes to an abandoned watchtower. There, in the moonlight, Shaheen.
Alive, she sprinted to it. The dog licked her face weakly. Its collar hung loose, ribs protruding, leg wound festering. They lied about killing you, she choked. Shaheen nudged her 4-way RD, limping Tawa RD the border fence. At a gap in the wires, it dug frantically. Amina joined in, writhing a tiny red shoe.
Lila's still tied neatly. Stained with lakeshore clay. Amina sobbed.
They tried taking you out of Kenya, Shaheen panted against her leg, she fought.
Dropped this.
I hid it for you. Headlights flashed.
Amina dove into bushes as a black SUV rolled past MH01. Winnie's CAR.
10:47 p.m. There he's still moving her. Next morning, Amina stormed Nairobi Police HQ with the shoe and collar evidence. The officer yawned.
A shoe. Kids lose shoes daily. The dog saw her. Dogs can't testify. This isn't TV. He smirked. Winnie pays our salaries. Shut up or disappear. A young journalist, Kanini, gasped at her story. This is explosive. Her editor killed it. Winnie's lawyers will erase us. Hopeless, Amina wandered streets, Shaheen in her ARMS. Then a street kid handed her an envelope. Inside, a hand-drawn map to an abandoned mica mine. Scribbled child was here. Red dress girl. Her pulse spiked. Who gave this? The kid shrugged. White hat man. Paid me 2 coins. White hat. Dr. Rashid always wore. 1. The mine was a ghost hole NEA or the Tanzanian border. Shaheen Baked madly, tugging her inside. Vines choked the entrance. Amina lit a torch, stepping into damp darkness. The walls were covered in children's drawings, suns, fish, a woman's hand. Then, deep inside, she froze. A crude sketch of a girl by a lake, holding a woman's hand. Below it, wobbly Swahili, Mama, Nataka Kurudi Nyumbani. Mama, I wanna go home. Signed, Lila. The torch trembled in her grip. She traced the letters, TRS splashing stone. Lila Mama's here. Shaheen pawed at rubble, uncovering a ragged bunny plush, Lila's favorite, with Mama stitched on its EAR. Amina clutched it to her chest, almost hearing Lila's breath. Proof. But also, she's gone. Moved again. Maybe across borders. Outside, the clouds paw root. STARS blazed. Shaheen howled at the sky, answered by distant BARKS across the savannah. Amina gripped the toy, whispering, Winnie Habib. You stole my child. Killed my dog. Broke my life. But you forgot. Here, the wind rise whispers. Dogs remember paths. And mothers never surrender. I will drag you from your throne. Amina clutched the bunny plush, leading a limping Shaheen back to Kibera's slums under cover of night. She'd photographed everything, the red shoe, the cave drawings, the toy, storing the evidence on a cracked USB drive. Did you find Lila? Her cousin whispered. I found where she was, Amina rasped. But they moved her. Her cousin handed her a newspaper. The headline read, Golden Antelope scene. Winnie Habib donates 5M to Poor Girls Health Fund. The photo showed Winnie in a white suit, smiling beside Dr. Rashid, handing a check to a hospital director. Amina's nails dug into her palms. Poor Girls Health Fund, they stole children. Then donate in their names. Was this penance or mockery? Do they fear or no judgment? She muttered. Judgments for the poor, her cousin said bitterly. The rich have lawyers. Cops. Even God. At dawn, Amina stormed the small newspaper office, shoving the USB at journalist Kanini. I have proof. Lila was held in that mine. Her drawings on the walls. Kanini rushed her to the editor, who blanched. You're accusing Winnie of trafficking. He'll bury us. But it's true. Amina pulled out the shoe and toy. Shaheen led me there. The editor scoffed. A dog's testimony. Courts don't take paw prints. Kanini interjected, Sir, run just one drawing, the Mama, Take Me Home graffiti. No names. Just, whose child drew this? Reluctantly, he agreed. That afternoon, a tiny blurb read a missing, red dress girl drew this in border mine. Contact us. Amina waited by the phone. Nothing. Then, at 8 p.m. a call. A man's voice, thick with Arabic accent. Amina Okoth, your daughter's safe. Stop digging, and she comes home. Who Arroyo? Dr. Rashid. Winnie admires your dog's having courage. He offers 1 million shillings for your silence. I want Lila. Not blood money. Money buys everything. Even a mother's memory. You monster. She's a child, not your sacrifice. The doctor chuckled. Sacrifice no. She's a gift. Winnie's wife is B.A. Wren. We needed pure blood to continue their line. Your girl is perfect. What did you do to her? A cleansing ritual, to forget her past. In 3 days, she flies to Dubai as their heir. Push further. She vanishes. The line died. Amina collapsed against the wall. Cleansing ritual. They were erasing Lila's mind. Kanini gripped her shoulder. Their SCA read. That call proves we hit a nerve. But what now? Police ignore us. Media censors us, then we go viral. They posted the cave drawing, shoe, and toy on every platform, Swahili, English, Arabic. My daughter Lila, 3, in red dress, taken by golden antelope. Seen her. Hashtag find Lila. Hashtag justice for Lila send. The world shifted in 48 hours. First, dozen Shah read it. Then a Nairobi University student translated it, tweeting, a cleaner mom saves a TYCNS dog, gets fired. Her child vanishes. The dog leads her to evidence. TYCN donates to orphans while stealing them. The post exploded. Kenyan influencers, hashtag we real Lila. Tanzanian women's groups, stop cross-border trafficking. Even a Dubai whistleblower, Dr. Rashid's fertility clinic adopts African kids for gene purification. Within 72 hours, hashtag find Lila topped African Twitter. Posters at a read in Nairobi. Flowers piled at the mine. Police finally announced, special unit to probe Lila's case. Amina wept. She wasn't alone anymore. Winnie struck back. Major papers ran CLA-rifications, trafficking claims false. Lila Okoth was legally adopted. Lives happily in Dubai. Amina, a disgruntled ex-employee, seeks fame. With a photo, Lila. In a lavish room, we ring a new dress. Eyes blank. Amina collapsed. That's her, but why isn't she smiling? Kanini grimaced. Staged. Probably drugged or threatened. Then her cousin burst in, police are coming. They'll arrest you for fake news. Amina grabbed the USB in Kalahar, fleeing only to meet cops at the alley's end. Shaheen lunged, SNA rolling like a wolf, biting her sleeve to drag her the other way. They hid in a scrap metal hut. Amina hugged the dog, sobbing, you saved me again. Why state? Shaheen licked her cheek. It remembered. The rainy night she'd sucked poison from its leg. It owed her. That night, Amina gambled everything. She rallied the village women to paddle to the lake. CRT, lighting torches, a lake god's judgment ritual. Let Kenya see, this isn't one mother's fight. It's a nation's awakening. Meanwhile, Kanini had a forensic analyst test the red shoe. Blood on the sole matches Amina's DNA, Lila's. And traces of sedatives matching Dr. Rashid's prescriptions. The smoking gun. A fearless lawyer held a press conference. We've proof, Winnie Habib trafficked children, drugged them, falsified adoptions. Police must rescue Lila now. The country erupted. The president vowed full investigation. UN child agencies demanded Dubai parade. On a Kibera rooftop, Amina watched Nairobi's skyline, Shaheen panting weakly at her feet. Almost there, Shaheen. Lila's coming home. Her phone buzzed. An unknown number. The mine wasn't the end. She's behind the high walls. Amina's breath caught. High walls. The golden antelope estate. She sta read at the distant white mansion, Winnie's fortress. The last battle had begun. Amina sta read at the anonymous text, behind the high walls, her pulse hammering. Golden antelope estate. The white Mayerblee fortress with 3-meter walls, Armedgwa RDS, gates locked day and night. She'd scrubbed its floors but never stepped inside the mansion. Was Lila really there? She called Kanini. I'm going in. Are you insane? They'll have warrants for you. Only I can recognize Lila. Only Shaheen knows her scent. How Amina looked down at the dog. Shaheen lifted its head weakly, eyes still blazing. He'll show me. That night, Amina disguised herself in a cleaner's uniform, slipping into the estate service line.
Shaheen hid in a garbage truck's secret compartment, smuggled in by an old janitor. His son had been beaten at Winnie's mines. Consider this payback, he muttered. At midnight, she freed Shaheen. The dog sniffed the ground, derooting past fountains, gardens, parking lots, until it halted at a half-buried building labeled ecological greenhouse.
Winnie's private plant sanctuary.
Shaheen clawed at the door, growling. Amina peeked through a vent. Not plants. Rows of cribs. Children in white gowns, numbered wristbands.
Some crying. Some drugged.
Some staring blankly. A nurse in white robes injected a toddler. Amina's blood froze. Not a greenhouse. A nursery factory. Then, a little girl in a red dress shuffled in, clutching a bunny plush.
Lila. Thinner.
Hair chopped short. Eyes hollow. Lila, Amina Nearly screamed, but Shaheen headbutted her leg, silencing her. Footsteps approached. Gua RDS. She retreated into bushes as Shaheen growled low, they drug her.
Make her forget you. Back in Kibra, she told Kanini and the lawyer everything. We rate it. There's dozens of kids. The lawyer shook his head. No warrant. Winnie owns the cops. And legally these might all be adoptions. Legal, they're drugging them. Paperwork beats truth here. He sighed. We need more, like who these kids really are. Amina re-examined the cave drawings.
One stood out, a boy's sketch of big iron gates and flying fish, with scribbled text, Mama, I miss Lake Victoria. Lake Victoria Luo here land. She sent to find our daughter's women to lakeside villages, asking about missing kids who drew flying fish. A Luo spirit omen. 3 days later, a fisherman in Ocho village lost his son 2 years ago. The boy loved drawing flying fish. DNA tests matched the boy to a child in the greenhouse. 99.8% match. We've got one victim, the lawyer cheered.
Enough for a warrant. But Winnie struck first. Next morning, headlines red. Nursery factory a hoax. Greenhouse grows orchids. Photos showed the greenhouse empty, just flowers. Amina Nearly collapsed. They moved the kids overnight. Worse, police denied the warrant. Insufficient evidence.
Despair set in. Then, Kanini on a ride a bombshell. Dr. Rashid funnels $200,000 monthly to a child placement fund registered in Dubai but hosted on Golden Antelope servers.
They're laundering from the estate, server logs could nail them. Amina's eyes lit up. Shaheen showed me the vents. They struck during a storm.
Rain masked noise and blinded cameras. Amina and Shaheen slithered through vents, reaching the server room beneath the mansion.
She pried open a floor panel. There. A humming server bank. She plugged in the USB. 10%. 30%. 50%, then ALARMBLA res. Unauthorized access. Lockdown initiated.
87%. GUARDS kicked in the door. She yanked the USB, fleeing as Shaheen lunged, buying her seconds. She crawled through ducts, leaped into a garden pond, surfacing only when GUARDS left. Drenched. Shaking. But the USB glowed in her palm. Got it. The lawyer decoded the files. 5 years 47 kids. Legally adopted, then held captive. Memory suppression therapy, drugs plus fake family videos. Money trails to Dubai, Switzerland, UAE. This is industrial scale trafficking, the lawyer ROA read. Amina only asked, where's Lila? One encrypted file, Lila, final transfer.
"72 hours. 3 days until she'd be erased forever. Then, a call from the village lakefire ritual tonight. Torches ready. Come home."
Amina clutched the USB, gazing at the horizon. Time's up.
At Lake Kismu, hundreds of canoes formed a ring. Torches blazed.
Drums thundered. Nana burned sacred bones, smoke coiling like ancestral ghosts. Amina stood on the lead boat, raising Shaheen's kala.
I was a cleaner. A single mother. A castaway. But I'm also Luo blood.
Lila's mother. They stole my child.
Killed my dog.
Buried truth under gold. But they forgot, here, a mother's love outlasts walls.
The lake god's wrath drowns storms. Tonight, we light their sins on fire. Torches lifted.
The lake became a mirror of stars. As drums peaked, Kanini emailed the USB files to Interpol, UNICEF, AU Human Rights.
Golden antelope crimes, a mother's proof, paid in dog's blood. 3 a.m. Nairobi police held an emergency presser arrest warrants. Issued for Mwinyi Habib, Dr. Rashid. Operation Torch. Amina stood on the shore, watching the distant city glow. Shaheen lay at her feet, breathing shallow but tail wagging weakly. It knew. Dawn was coming. 4 a.m. Nairobi slept, but Golden Antelope Estate was in chaos. Sirens wailed through the rain. SWAT teams surrounded the mansion. Inside, Mwinyi Habib stood at his window, face ghost white. He dialed Dr. Rashid. Take the child through the tunnels. Fly to Dubai now. Meanwhile, at Lake Kismu, Amina stood in a canoe, torchlight flickering on her face. Her phone buzzed. Kanini's text raids STA route. But Lila's gone. Intel says she was moved. No. Amina Nearly toppled into the lake. Shaheen, we have to go. She cradled the weak dog, paddling back through stormy waters. Shaheen perched at the bow, nose twitching, tracking some scent only it could smell. The wind speaks to dogs, Old Okoth murmured. By dawn, Amina reached Nairobi's outskirts. SWAT had stormed the estate but found only the butler. Mwinyi left last night. With the doctor and a child. Where's Lila? Amina grabbed him. I don't know, I swear. Police uncovered a hidden room beneath the greenhouse. Walls plastered with photos, each adopted child labeled with a purification progress. Chart Lila's photo read, final transfer, 24 hours. They moved the timeline, the lawyer said grimly. Could be today. Then, forensics dug up a dog's corpse. Near the Ga Rden. Shaheen. Rotting, Kala are scorched, but the tag still faintly read saw him. Amina collapsed, cradling its body. They lied, you were alive. Looking for us, she tied the burned Kala or scrap to Lila's red dress, the one she'd see right everywhere. You saved me. Saved Lila. Now. I fight for you. By noon, Kenya erupted. Kanini published Shaheen's corpse photo alongside the nursery files. Headline: One dog's life for 47 children's future. The image of Shaheen's skeletal, Kala are melted, yet still poised to protect. Ignited fury. Protests flooded Nairobi. Signs read, dogs have more soul than men. Luo elders Dekle read, Mwinyi violated Ubuntu. He is cursed. Pressure crushed the police. 3 p.m. Interpol confirmed, Mwinyi and Rashid hadn't fled Kenya. They hid in a private game reserve up north. They're waiting out the storm, the lawyer said. We move now. At dusk, SWAT Haya read up. Amina insisted on joining. I'm her mother. I need to be there. Before leaving, she placed Shaheen's body in a wooden box at the Policia Road, lit 3 candles. Set out fish, water, and Lila's bunny. Rest, Shaheen. When I bring Lila back, we'll visit you. Then, something eerie. Windless night, yet the candle flames thrash. And from the directness barks. 1. 2. Then dozens strays from slums, villages, roadsides, converged on the station. Silent. Circling Shaheen's box. Sniffing. Whining. Officers gaped. How they know? Amina knelt, stroking a 3-legged shepherd. You remember him, don't you? He saved your kin. He was a hero. All night, the dogs stood vigil. A ring of fur and loyalty under the moon. Dawn. The raid began. The reserve sprawled over miles. Thermal scans showed 3 figures in a bunker, 2 men, 1 woman, and a small heat signature. A child. Amina crept with SWAT, clutching Lila's red dress. This time no one takes her. They breached the bunker. Rashid was burning documents. Mwinyi stood by a vault, holding Lila. She's mine now. Her name is Sa. She doesn't remember you. Let her go. Amina lunged. Lila, drugged in blank, whispered, Uncle don't cry. Amina unfolded the red dress, its hem embroidered with Lila and a tiny flower. Look, baby mama made this. Lila's fingers brushed the stitching. Suddenly, a flicker in her eyes. Flower mama drew. Yes. Mama's here. Tars.
spilled down Lila's cheeks. Mamam Winnie Roa read as SWAT tackled him. I gave her everything. You gave her Fia R, Amina whispered, hugging Lila. I gave her love. Back at the station, Amina showed Lila Shaheen's body. This is Uncle Shaheen. He brought you home. Lila touched its fur. He smiled. In my dreams. Amina hung the kala or scrape around Lila's neck. His spirit protects you now. That night, Kenya watched the raid footage live. When Lila cried mama, millions wept. The president addressed the nation. A cleaner mother needed a dog sacrificito find her child. This is our shame. A week later, Shaheen's funeral at Lake Kismu. Not a pet's burial. A hero's fa well. Villagers paddled the coffin to the lake. CRT Nana sang the journey home chant. Olokoth lit a torch, casting it onto the waters. Hundreds of dogs, pets, strays, canine units lined the shore, howling as one. Amina buried Shaheen's kala are under the sacred fig tree. Its plaque read Shaheen, child of wind, messenger of souls. His loyalty woke justice from slumber. Lila tugged Amina's sleeve. Mama, will Shaheen come back? Amina gazed across the plains. The breeze ca right a distant bark. He never left. As long as we remember he lives. 3 days after Shaheen's burial, Amina and Lila returned to their mud hut by Lake Kismu. Miraculously, Amina's mother, bedridden for years, could now walk. Villagers SWA met them like heroes, offering fish, cornbread. Kids pestered Lila. Sister, what's the desert palace like? Lila just clutched her bunny plush, eyes distant. The sedatives hadn't fully worn off. Some memories surface like fog. Clear are one moment, gone the next. Nights, she'd wake screaming. No pills. Don't forget mama. Amina held her, whispering comfort. The battle wasn't over. The body was saved, but the soul still fought. Meanwhile, Nairobi High Court opened Winnie Habib vs. The People, a Laname RK child trafficking trial. Global media crammed the gallery. Winnie's legal dream team, 3 ex-attorneys general, vowed to protect his legacy. Day 1, Amina entered in Luo blue robes, shell-beaded headband, gripping Lila's hand. Cameras flashed. The cleaner-turned accuser stood tall. The prosecutor began, since Winnie Habib and Dr. Rashid Amin trafficked 47 African children via golden antelope charity, drugging them to erase memories, a crime against humanity. Winnie's lawyer scoffed at trafficking. Every adoption was legal, government-stamped, DNA verified. Amina spins fairy tales for sympathy. Evidence rolled. CCTV of Amina sucking venom from Shaheen. Guardia shredding her work permit. The mines graffiti. Secret nursery footage. The gallery gasped. Winnie's team sneered, these kids came from slums, war zones, trash heaps. Winnie gave them mansions, schools, doctors. Is that crime or mercy? Silence. Africa's rawest nerve exposed to when rich men save poor children. Who decides the cost? Day 2, the bombshell. Prosecutor, DNA confirms Lila Okoth is Winnie Habib's biological daughter, 99.9% match. Winnie collapsed. His lawyer ROA read, fraud. Conspiracy. But the forensic expert testified to samples from Lila's blood and Winnie's toothbrush. Tests run at 3 labs. Irrefutable. The truth. 3 years ago, drunk after firing Amina, Winnie raped her in the servants' quarters. Called it a beggar's blessing. When Lila was born healthy, bright, he coveted his own blood. His Bahrain wife ordered Rashid to steal the girl, passing her off as adopted to hide the shame. Amina's voice cut like a blade, I saved a dog not knowing its master. I bore a child not knowing her father. But I know this, no life is cheaper than a dog's. You hide crimes behind money, laws, charity. But you can't hide blood's echo. Lila ca rise. My blood. His blood. But her soul belongs only to love. Women in the gallery wept. Luo elders stood chanting, give our daughters dignity. Day 3, Dr. Rashid cracked. We practiced bloodline transference, drugs, hypnosis. To make children forget birth families, accept new ones.
For their own good. The judge GLA read, who gave you the right to murder memories a deeper guilt exposed to Africa's elite believed poor children were born unlucky needing rich salvation to rebirth. But erasing pasts was killing souls. Verdict day. The judge in red robes declare read, this case isn't just law. It's humanity. The ruling in Dr. Rashid, 15 years, trafficking, illegal medicine, human rights abuse. Winnie Habib, 7 years total, 5 for rape, 2 for trafficking/money laundering. Lila Lokoth, full custody to Amina outrage erupted. Winnie's fans, 2 rsh. He's a philanthropist. Victims' families, 7 years for 47 stolen childhoods. Amina stayed calm. The law wasn't perfect, but it spoke truth. That night, the village held a soul cleansing. Nana burned bones. Old Okoth drummed. Amina and Lila set a paper boat on the lake, Winnie's verdict inside, lit by candlelight. As flames floated away, villagers sang, stolen years returned. Hidden suns relight. Mothers trs feed lakes. Children's laughter is tomorrow's dawn. Lila smiled for the first time. Mama. I'm not SCA red now. Amina stroked her hair, because you know where you're from and where you're going. Your blood ties you to me. To this lake. To this soil. No one can steal that. Somewhere, the wind howled like a distant bark. Shaheen keeping watch. 7 days after the verdict, Amina didn't celebrate. Didn't weep. She sat by Lake Kismu, holding the final draft of the Lila Act, sunlight dancing on water like 1,000 watching eyes. Mama, will the other kids go home too? Lila leaned against her. Yes, Amina stroked her hair. If we don't give up. Just then, commotion at the village gate. A rickety bus rolled in, doors creaking open to reveal 13 children, Luo, Masai, Swahili, ages 3 to 12, wearing identical white shirts printed. I have a mother. I have a home. The Find Our Daughters women led them. Amina, their leader, called. We found them. 13 more from Golden Antelope's system. PA rents are waiting for DNA tests. Amina stood, TRS swelling. These children had the same hollow sta Lila once did. Their clothes still bore the nursery's numbered tags. She knelt before a girl clutching a ragdoll. What's your name? Nana. Do you remember your mama? I dream she fries fish. Amina's heart clenched. Every poor mother's love, served on scraps. She opened her ARMS, come here, Auntie's got you? The girl hesitated. Then collapsed into her embrace, sobbing. That night, the village held a returning souls ceremony. PA rents arrived, fishermen, weavers, trash pickers. When DNA confirmed each match, the whale shook the EARTH. An old woman cowed out to the lake, UERD me. My son's back. Amina watched families reunite. This wasn't just homecoming. It was dignity reclaimed. These children had been inventoried, scrubbed, reshaped, stripped of names and memories. Tonight, they became people again. Nana burned sacred bones. Old Okotha's drum thundered as villagers circled, singing a blood flows and rivers bones sleep and soil a child's laugh as ancestors blessing. Who steals life, who returns souls. Mother's drums beat till dawn. The rhythm spread across the plains. 2 weeks later, Nairobi High Court SWA met with protesters. Winnie Habib had appealed unfair verdict. My reputation's ruined. His supporters chanted elites shouldn't be jailed, while victims' families waved banners, 47 children's TRS equals 7 ARS. Amina entered court, no longer alone. The Find Our Daughters women filled the front row in blue robes. 13 rescued kids held white flowers. Lila walked beside her, quiet but steady. Winnie's lawyers attacked 7 ARS will cripple a job creator. Winnie Group employs 30,000. Stocks crashed 30%. You're punishing Kenya. Children's lives worth less than GDP. The prosecutor shot back. In developing Africa, stability trumps sentiment, the lawyer yelled. Silence. Africa's cruel dilemma when the rich sin, should courts mind the economy when the poor speak, they disrupting progress. Amina stood to address the court. Not to Winnie. To the children, honorable judges, fellow Africans, 3 years ago, I saved a dog. They called it sacrilege and threw me out.
2 years later, they stole my daughter. Called it cha righty dot. Today, they say 7 years is too harsh for hurting business. But I ask what's a mother's tea are worth how many sha residential for a child's memory we preach Ubuntu, I am because we are but if we let some erase others does Ubuntu exist. She pointed to Lila, she ca rise Mwingi's blood. But her soul belongs to love, not money, not power, not better lives. If law protects stability over justice, it protects oppressors, not people. A Maasai elder stood, ripping off her shawl. She's right. We're not cattle. A Luo fisherman ROA read, our kids are rent gifts. The Find Our Daughters women linked ARMS, chanting return our children. Return our pride. Then, boom. 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 Not from inside. Old Okothan villagers had hauled the sacred drum to the courthouse steps, pounding the judgment rhythm. The walls trembled. The judge adjourned in shock. 3 days later, appeal denied. But the fire spread. Mother's dignity movement erupted nationwide. University students demanded adoption law reforms. Tanzanian women launched African Mothers United, tracking cross-border trafficking. Lila squads sprouted in Uganda, Rwanda slums, helping families reunite. The president caved. A special committee on child rights formed. Lila Acto Parliament. A month later, Amina spoke at the African Human Rights Summit. Behind her stood the 13 rescued children. No grand speeches. Just truth. The day I saved that dog, I thought it was nothing. But that dog years later led police to my daughter. What does that mean? That in Africa, no kindness vanishes. It echoes. Shaheen remembered my mercy, so it returned. Lila remembered my love. So she came back. Today, we must bedhat echo for stolen children. For silenced women. For the forgotten poor. Because justice shouldn't need a dog to wake it up. The standing ovation shook the hall. That night, back in the village, Amina placed her African mother's courage awa RD under the sacred. Fig tree. Nana handed her a letter. From Dr. Rashid in prison. I believed in elite salvation, that we, the educated rich, could gift poor children better fates. I was wrong. Erasing their pasts erased their humanity. Madam Amina, you taught me, love isn't cha righty. It's belonging. Please tell Lila I'm sorry. Amina fed the letter to flames. Mama, fire's pretty, Lila murmured. Yes, Amina whispered. It burns lies. Lights truth. Somewhere, drums pulsed again, ancestors answering. Shaheen watching. A million mothers heard beats Africa's deepest echo. Spring came to Lake Kismu. The waters rose, white egrets lifting from the reeds. Amina stood on the shore, gazing at the new red brick building, 2 stories, blue tin roof, a wooden sign out front. Lila's light girls' school built with Mwini's settlement money. Not a monument to victory. A seed for tomorrow. 3 years ago, she'd been a cleaner counting pennies. Now, villagers bowed when she passed. But she knew respect wasn't given. It was Erned. And the only way to spari girls her fate education. Sta rooting the school wasn't easy. Elders scoffed, why teach girls? They'll just rry off. Neighboring merchants sneered, build fish farms, not schools. At least fish make money. Anonymous threats arrived, Mwini's cousins still run this district. Watch your back. Amina didn't flinch. She rallied the Find Our Daughters women. Each donated a month's wages. Fishermen gave timber. Blacksmiths forged nails. Mothers ca ride bricks on their heads. Old Okoth Dekle read, my son signed his life away at the mines, couldn't read the contract. This school. I'll die building it. 3 months later, 6 classrooms. A tiny library. A first aid station. 42 girls enrolled at first year are orphans, former child brides, trafficking survivors. On opening day, Amina pinned each child with the school badge, a bird ca rying a girl, inscribed in knowledge's wings. Mothers a lighthouses. Lila, now 7, was their first pupil. No more Nidame res. She recited Swahili poetry, drew pictures of Amina and Shaheen. Mama, I'll be a teacher, she'd announce after school. Then teach me a word today, Amina would say, kissing her forehead. The curriculum wasn't just textbooks. Nana taught herbal cures, reeds for fever, beeswax for wounds. Okoth showed survival skills, reading winds, navigating by stars. Kanini's journalist friends lectured on computers, writing, children's rights. Know your roots and the world's rules, Amina told them. So when they push you down, you don't just cry. You speak. You write. USUE. The school became the village's he beat. Mothers came for night classes, literacy, bookkeeping, laws. One woman, abandoned by her husband, Leah reneged to draft a lawsuit and won child support. Another used accounting skills to grow her fish stall, sending her daughter to secondary school. Sister Amina, a widow tearfully said, you gave us courage. Before, we fear read speaking up. Now we know, we can say no. But challenges never stopped. One dawn, Amina found graffiti on the school wall. Which school? Teaching rebellion. The well was trashed with garbage. She didn't call cops. Instead, she gathered students and parents for a cleansing ritual. Kids scrubbed walls. Mothers swept debris. Amina drank from the fouled well before them all. Oh, this water's clean. Like our school. Like our children. Like our future. Only Kawe Rdly here's are the light. That afternoon, village elders came apologizing. We were wrong, the chief admitted. This place is our pride. The real test came in December. A mother burst in weeping, my girl's been sold. 60 EAR old trader. 10k shilling dowry. Amina stormed to the groom's compound. The man's family blocked her. Tradition. Girls wed at 15. She's 13. Amina snapped. Child Protection Act says 18. This is crime. The groom smirked, laws we gifted the chief. He said, overlook it. Amina left, but returned with Kanini. Next day, the girl's secret recording aired nationally. I don't want him. He smells like tobacco. Stop Child Marriage trended. Women's groups sent lawyers. Police arrested the groom. When the girl returned to class, students gave a standing ovation. Teacher Amina saved me, she whispered at the podium. I don't want to be a wife. I want to be a doctor. The room erupted in cheers and TRS. By year 2, Lila's Light had 89 pupils across 3 grades. Amina opened a second branch in the next village. She hired a vet to teach animal love dogs. Love cows. Love every life, she said. Because Shaheen taught me loyalty has no breed. Love has no price. Every rainy season, they held Dog Spirit Day. Kids folded paper hounds, lit candles, set them afloat on the lake. Nana sang the messenger's song. Wincie ride dogs remember kindness night. Barks wake sleeping he RTS. One life trades for 1,000. Savannah's children rise at last. One afternoon, a drawing fluttered from Lila's notebook. Amina picked it up, a crayon sketch of the red brick school. A woman stood out front, holding a big dog's leash, leading a chain of children. Scrawled at the bottom, my mama, Amina Okoth. She built a school. She built love. Amina sat on the school porch at dusk, watching kids chase a 3-legged stray across the field. The dog's collar, what remained of it, had a faint S scorched into the leather. She smiled. Tawa RD the wind. Shaheen looked. You didn't just save Lila. You lit 1,000 lights. 10 years later, Lila's Light Girls' School had grown into a full secondary academy. The red brick building now stood 3 stories tall. With artificial turf fields and a library stocked with 5,000 books. Every year, over 100 girls graduated, some to Nairobi University, Kenyatta College, even overseas, becoming doctors, lawyers, journalists. Amina no longer greeted students at the gate each morning, but she remained the school's living soul. The girls called her Mama Amina, sprinting to hug her whenever she visited. Lila, now 18, had just graduated from Nairobi's Teachers College. She'd turned down city job offers to return home as the youngest instructor at her alma mater.
Mama, I'll teach them what you taught me, how to be unbreakable.
Amina smiled. The storm was long past, but its echoes still hummed in their bones. That year, Kenya's president signed the Lila Act into national law. All Charity adoptions required full transparency. A national DNA database for missing children. Criminal penalties for memory erasure and cross-border trafficking. At the ceremony, the president said once, a mother traded a dog's life for her daughter and our nation's conscience. Today, we honor her with justice.
Amina stood beside him in simple blue linen, cowrie shells in her hair. I'm no hero. Just a mother who refused to let go. The real heroes are those who kept faith in the DRK. Nana's prophecies. Olokotha's canoe. Kanini's pen. Every woman who said no. She paused, voice catching. And Shaheen. The room fell silent. Glistening eyes everywhere. That rainy season, the village held its first Wind Child Festival, a new tradition honoring Shaheen's sacrifice. They'd woven a massive hound sculpture from reeds and dyed cloth, 6 feet tall, 10 feet long. Kala are engraved, Satim, the messenger. Under the full moon, 90-year-old Okoth beat the sacred drum. Nana's granddaughter lit bone powder, singing the messenger's chant. Amina and Lila stood before the crowd. She tied a lantern to the reed dog's collar, whispering, when you left, I didn't know you'd return. Arving, broken yet you led me to Lila. They called you just a dog. But I knew you were a heart purer than most men's. Drums surged. Children danced around the effigy. Then, Baer King. A scrawny stray limped from the bushes, mud-brown fur, one hind leg dragging. Just like Shaheen as a pup. It sniffed Amina's feet, then flopped beside her, tail thumping. Gasps erupted, Shaheen's spirit. Nana's granddaughter murmured, loyal souls return as messengers. Amina stroked its head. What's your name? It licked her palm, grinning. Little Wind, Lila said, fastening bells to its collar. Our next wind child. For years, Little Wind patrolled the school, never biting, just growling at strangers. At recess, it sunbathes by the field like a furry professor. If a girl cried, it'd nuzzle her knee. Vets said it wouldn't live past 10. It made it to 12, then one dawn, curled under the sacred fig tree, and didn't wake up. They buried it by Shaheen's stone, adding, Little Wind, the echo. It remembered love was worth writing. Another decade passed. Amina's hair turned white. She walked with a cane now. Lila was headmistress. Her 7-year-old, Sara, was Lila's Light's newest pupil. One afternoon, Sara brought home a drawing. A big dog and little girl running by a lake, trailed by red brick schools and endless children. Scrawled at the bottom, my great-grandma saved a dog. The dog saved her. Now I'll save more. Amina sat on her porch bench, watching sunset gild the savannah. Wind rustled reeds like whispered secrets. She remembered that stormy night, kneeling in mud, sucking venom from a stranger dog's wound. She hadn't known then that poison would become torches. Drumbeats across miles. Light in generations of girls' eyes. She whispered to the breeze, Shaheen,